Today we are playing Twists and Turns with this as the deployment map. We've got a bunch of objectives across the line. Stormcast decided to set up the terrain and go be the defender. Beastmen are the attacker. They were able to deploy first with a bunch of stuff in reserve. Stormcast also has several units in reserve as well. With that, Beastmen decided to go first as they don't want that Star Drake just teleporting out over here and destroying the Hearthstone. So Beastmen turn 1. Well, they just killed a Storm Drake. It was D6 damage apiece. 11 wounds on them. End of battle round 1. Beast chose Cunning Manoeuvre, having that guy run on over to that objective. They decided to come in. They killed that Star Drake over there, making their 5-inch charge because they came down 7. The Doom Bull made 10-inch charge. Rolling 10 on the dice, it was a 9-inch charge. The Gorgon over there failed. The Gorgon over here succeeded only because of the reroll, because he was within range to give him the command. And the Gorgon ate those guys. At the end of the turn, we rolled the Beast rolled, and that objective is still good. That one is deactivated. That one is deactivated. And the one far in the far corner is still active. Going into Stormcast, turn 1. End of Stormcast, turn 1. They chose Eye for an Eye. Able to get that. Unfortunately, though, they do not have any other objectives, active objectives. And so they don't score any additional points there, giving them only 2 points. They still have one more unit in reserve, hopefully on turn 2. So we'll see who gets priority at this point. They did a pretty good job clearing out their middle here after losing their Star Drake. But they're still in trouble over there, and Beasts still own a lot of the board. End of Beast turn 2. They were able to grab 4 objectives, gaining 3 points. At the end of the turn, all 4 became inactive. The only one they didn't get was over here. For their battle tactic, they chose Reduce to Savagery. Chose these Annihilators on over here with the shields. Figured with this Gorgon, with 3 rend, they should be able to do it. Ended up dealing some mortals with the Ritual of Ruin, as well as some with them. They moved away from this bull for redeployment. He had to re-roll his charge to get in there. He whiffed his attacks, only dealing 3 for his butchering blades, but he was able to get a huge slavering maw off on them. And killing them. Some pox shots on over here against this group. They're boulders. Both of these guys threw boulders. They both missed. They both rolled 1s. Over here, the Ungor Raiders came in, shot off 4 dogs. They passed their battle shock. And this Gorgon charged in, dealt 6 wounds to him, leaving him with 1 wound left. And the Gorgon took 2 from him. With that, into Beastman turn 2, on to Stormcast turn 2. Stormcast turn 2, left with little options. They chose Desecrate their lands, choosing this over here. The Lord Relictor was able to teleport on over there, taking that, gaining their 2 objectives, 2 victory points. Unfortunately, though, because of all of the inactive ones, this one was only 1 active. They weren't able to run or get on over there. And when these guys charged on in to the Gorgon, he was just outside enough where we wouldn't have been able to get all of the guys in. And they definitely wanted to kill it. The Annihilators over here charged. They failed and had to use his free command ability to go ahead and charge again. Unfortunately, I was thinking it was a bad idea since we had to resolve this one over here first. And the Gorgon not only ate one of them and swallowed them whole, but then destroyed the rest with his attacks. Nothing much else happened. Some movement on and around, trying to reorganize. The Stormcast are on their back heel though, but they did win priority, so we'll see what happens. Bring the beast down! This isn't gonna go well. End of Stormcast turn 3. The Lord Relictor decided to bamf over there, grab that objective, because their battle tactic was Cunning Maneuver. That was the only active objective, so we were able to gain another 2 points for hold 1 and hold more active objectives. These guys all charged on in, trying to bring the beast down. Unfortunately, they did not do much damage to it. And when he piled in, he ate 2 of those guys, healing for 4. He also, on his monstrous action, decided to stomp that Lord Imperator to the ground, which he was able to successfully do. And this Lord Castellant was actually able to do quite a few wounds to him, getting him, dealing 6 to him. In the end, it was pretty bad charging those guys on in. They're tough against infantry. So Stormcast gained 4. Now it's Beast turn 3. End of turn 3 for Beastmen. They chose lead the assault. Had to grab 2 objectives that were in enemy territory, which would be that one, and contest them with Leash Champion, which they were able to do. They do own 2 active, so they'll gain, which is more than that one over there, which they'll gain another 3 there, so 5 points total. The Endless Spell moved on over there, finished off the Lord Relictor, and killed one of the Annihilators. Over here, there was some mortals done from a Ritual Ruin onto Lord Castellant, and these guys shot into the Vanquishers, or Vindictors, I mean. But the Vindictors, they only had 1 wound from that. But unfortunately, he split his attacks and was able to eat one of the Vindicators whole, gaining 2 life back. And then another 2 life was dealt to him from the explosions from these guys just dying to his attacks. He did 4 attacks into there, 2 attacks into him, and the Slaveling Maw into him, and just was able to wipe the rest of them. Stormcast are pretty much done at this point, but we'll continue on, see if they're able to eke out a few more points. Beastmen won the priority for turn 4, went ahead and took it. Did gaining momentum, wanted to kill those dogs. They did a ruinous action to pull them closer, and then those guys just shot them off the board. The Annihilators over here took a mortal, and they took 2 from this Endless Spell. Unfortunately, they all attacked this guy's boulder, hitting on 2s, wounded on 2s. They all out defensed, having a 3-up save, rolled a 1, did 5 damage, which was just enough to finish the squad over here with his giant boulder. With that, all of them went active during their turn, so they gained 5 points again. Stormcast are left with this one singular guy at the end of the round. Stormcast turn, doesn't really matter what they take. These 2 and the one in the corner stayed active. That one did not. During the hero phase, this thing moved and just did 2 mortals to him and killed him. So Stormcast weren't able to do anything. They gained 1 from having this objective, but they have been tabled turn 4. Pretty sure we'll see what if Beast can do anything turn 5, but if anything, it would just be racking up more points. Beast turn 5, they would have just chose Desecrate their lands. They haven't done that one yet. They would have moved those guys on over to that terrain feature. That's about it. Gaining their 5 points. This did go inactive, and that one was not active as well. End of the game, Beastmen gain 25 plus 3 is 28 for their grand strategy for Protect the Herdstone. Stormcast are only at 9 points in the end. A lot of guys still on the field for these guys. I think Quakefray is the best sub-faction right now for Beasts of Chaos. That's just my opinion. These guys becoming priests is just nuts.